everybody, and welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I am your host, Kaveh Taherian.
And I'm Hannah Hillam, also your host.
Still, oh, she got it.
Not just
You're actually
guess.
the host this time, yeah.
He promoted me.
Yes. Welcome back. This is our third episode. Third time's a charm, or third time's when you go to three strikes you're out.
You never forget your third. Three strikes you're out. We might. This might be our last one. Yeah.
I think that was always the plan.
How's it going?
Good. We had to wait, of course, because there was so much construction happening, as often is the case in Los Angeles. But I'm excited to finally be able to record. Did you, by any chance, follow up with whales exploding?
Yes, I watched.
You did?
I watched a lot of videos of exploding whales. And I had just finished a big project, and I sat there and watched just viscera, but like ropes shoot out of those corpses.
Amazing. Remember that?
I
really sent you
gross.
Yeah, and I sent you that compilation video.
And the music was insane. It felt like I was in like a Mission Impossible like scenario, but except for like hiding, I had to watch a bunch of whales explode.
Yeah, that's why Tom Cruise had to delay the next Mission Impossible, because they needed to make a whale explode in space, and he needed to do it.
He's the one.
Space explosions.
Well, yeah. What about you? What did I talk about? Oh yeah. The jaw
Bob
thing.
Fosse jaw. Yeah, I remember it was the jazz hands. That's all I remember is the Bob Fosse.
That's all you took from it, huh?
I can't say I went and looked up a bunch of Fosse jaw pictures.
No. You shouldn't. But,
yes.
If you ever want to like make yourself throw up, it's a good way to start. But yeah,
That's
I think
true.
you heard you heard Fosse and your brain was like Bob Fosse, and then it
Bob
stopped.
Fosse. It's literally
It's like that's
correct.
what it is.
That's all I will do, as you will learn throughout the course of this podcast. If we end up going past episode 3, I will get hyperfixated on one thing and then stop paying attention to everything around me. So
that sounds like it could be diagnosable as something.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Although we did offload about this, where I was talking about another story I came up with based on the insanity of the whale evolution. Which will remain to be seen if I end up releasing that into anything. But that was a fun little idea that I had. So basically, in short, I was inspired by my own tab to keep going into my own project.
Good.
I'm so supportive as a friend.
Yeah. You never listen to you never go read about my things.
I never listen to anything.
I don't, dude.
I'm sorry.
It's like I said last time. It's like taking a test. When you're done, you're done. You don't remember.
When you're done, you're done. Exactly. I just dump it all out. Anyway, speaking of dumping, you ready for the next one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You go first this week, so go for it.
I'm gonna go first. Let me make sure I pull up the correct tab. All right. My article is from Ars Technica, written by Ashley Bellinger, and the title is "Crypto Hedge Fund CEO May Not Exist. Probe Finds No Record of Identity."
Okay.
So,
I love this.
Yeah,
already.
right. So this is not. I don't think I'm going to make a habit of this, because this literally just happened like a day and a half ago.
Oh wow, current.
So this is not an old tab. I just came across this and I was like, this is so stupid. I have to do something on this immediately.
Awesome. Okay.
So we're working with facts that have like just come out. The story might change. Who knows like how much of this will be revealed to be something else or anything. But for the sake of this podcast, I was like, we have to share this. It's really stupid and funny. So I'll give you the blurb. So it says,
okay.
For years, rumors spread on social media that Stephen Reese Lewis, the chief executive officer of a now shuttered cryptocurrency hedge fund called Hyperverse, was a quote unquote fake person who quote unquote doesn't exist.
Okay. Amazing.
After its investigation, The Guardian has confirmed that no organization cited on his resume can find, quote, any record of him.
Okay.
So basically, it's
just a bunch of people in a coat.
Literally, it's not even that. Oh, it gets funnier, right? So
it's dumber?
It's dumber than you think. Yeah. So it just kept making me think of Wolf of Wall Street, which we just watched, because you had not seen it until you came down for LA Comic-Con, where he's like, it's a fugazi, it's a fugazi, it's a woozy, it's a wazi, it's fairy dust. It's not real.
That's a good Matthew McConaughey. You got those R's, you got those Texan R's really,
Yeah.
really
Very
accurate. I can't even do it.
This guy, he's the Alan Smithy of CEOs. Who knows? No one even knows. Do you know who Alan Smithy is?
No.
So Alan Smithy is a pseudonym that people in film use. It's usually used by like directors who just they didn't want to be associated with the movie that they made. So they'd say Alan Smithy directed it.
Oh.
Or they'll say like, oh, Alan Smithy was the editor on this. It's basically like a fake name that they use so that they can credit it to somebody else.
Does Alan Smithy have an IMDb?
That's actually a good question. I never thought to look it up.
Better open a tab.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, there's another tab of Alan Smithy's credits. Anyway, this is the Alan Smithy of CEOs. This story is dear to my heart because it brings together a lot of things I love. One is rich people losing money.
Yes.
That's mostly what it is.
Yep.
Also
Feels
making fun of crypto bros for being totally off the wall and really insane. It's weird because this seems like a culmination of what the Silicon Valley like evangelist CEO, it seems like this is the natural culmination of where it was going to go.
Amazing.
I can't wait for the prestige TV show that they make on Apple or like on Showtime or HBO
on
about
Apple.
this. Or the movie that they're going to make. Applewood. Yeah. Did you watch WeWork? I'm sorry, We Crashed was the name of the show.
No, but I think my husband did.
Oh my God, it's great. I love it because I hate Jared Leto with a passion.
Oh, so do I.
And he's the CEO of WeWork. It's a show about like WeWork crashing.
Wait, it
Oh yeah. Oh, very famously lost like $40 billion. But it's funny because Jared Leto is insufferable, but so is Adam Newman. So it's actually perfect casting. So it's ironically like the best role that Jared Leto's ever played because he's just being himself, which is what the role required. Anyway.
Wow.
There's a bunch of these. There was like a whole slew of them that came out. There was that. There was the what was the Amanda Seyfried one that was about Elizabeth Holmes,
the lady who talks like this.
Yeah, I like to wear turtlenecks like Steve Jobs. And then there was the Joseph Gordon-Levitt one about Uber.
That's right. Wow.
So this will be interesting because I think they'll have to use this anyway. Okay, so let me get into the story before we get too crazy with it.
We're spiraling.
Yeah, spiral. All right, as one does. So the name of the company that is in question is called Hyperverse. So Hyperverse was one of the many crypto investment schemes started by two real people. One is named Sam Lee, who once dubbed himself the Crown Prince of Bitcoin in Australia.
That's so lame.
Right? That
is the lamest.
And his partner Ryan Shu, who promoted himself once as one of China's 4 Bitcoin kings.
Oh, so we have a prince and a king.
A prince and a king, exactly.
Dorks.
Dorks. The pair are also two founders of the collapsed Australian Bitcoin company Blockchain Global, which separately owes creditors $58 million.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Failing up.
Yep.
Yes. So I should say the story is, it was cracked. I guess The Guardian did this big investigation, The Guardian Australia. So that's where all this takes place. Just so you know.
So cool.
So the company Hyperverse offers these returns to people of up to 300% within 600 days through a membership plan to the Hyper community, quote unquote.
Sounds legit. Yeah. So far.
It's 100% like on, yeah. It's perfect. Yeah. I'm like, I see no problems here.
Nope.
Investors in the Hyper Group were asked to pay in cryptocurrency for subscription packages with rewards accumulating in Hyper units.
So you use fake money to buy more fake money?
Literally, yes. That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
And they offer a daily rate return of 0.5%. And traditional to pyramid schemes, members were also incentivized to recruit other members.
Of course.
So the story's got it all. Crypto, it's got straight pyramid schemes, it's got made up people, fake people. It's perfect. So again, this basically just sort of came to light last month with this big story that The Guardian had published about it. And they sort of like did research about what was going on. And of course, as part of one of these kinds of things that they do, they always talk to people who are like, oh, I was scammed out of money. My life's really hard. I put so much into this nonsense. One of the people, I'm sorry, if people who like didn't have money invested in this and got screwed, I don't make fun of them. I make fun of the terrible people.
Yeah, the ones that, yeah, yep.
Okay, and so one of these people, his fake name is Peter. His Alan Smithy is Peter because he didn't want people to know who he really was.
Okay.
So the article just identifies him as Peter. Peter was introduced to the platform by a friend while golfing. So You can already tell. Dorks, yes. So Ever the prudent investor, he initially tested the system by putting in about $1,000. And he was like, you know what? This is going to work. I think this is great. So once he saw it was working and he saw a little bit of return on investment, basically the 0.5% daily rate, he decided to go all in and he put a bunch more money in. We're going to come back to Peter in a little bit.
Okay, Peter.
Peter, yes. Just remember
Peter
him.
the golfer.
Peter the golfer, he's wearing a cool, whatever. He's wearing one of those golfer caps. He's got the Argyle socks pulled up over his pants.
All the way up to his knees.
All the way up to his knees.
Up to his thighs.
Up to his thighs. He's wearing an Argyle vest. He's wearing Lululemon pants, probably. I don't know what else golfers wear.
You know what? I think all of that's correct.
Yes,
I've never
he's
been
wearing
to a
the
golf
red
course.
The red Nike shirt that Tiger Woods used to wear. Remember the really famous one from the 90s? He's wearing all those things. He's golfing.
Wow. Okay.
He's drinking scotch, right? He's just like, hey, I don't know.
He's yelling at some kid who carries his clubs around.
Some caddy. Exactly. He's terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
This person, Peter, we don't love him. So he invests in Hyperverse. He throws all this money in. He gets real excited. Everyone's hype appropriately about the Hyperverse.
Such a dumb name.
It's the worst. It gets even dumber. So it gets dumber.
How?
It's like those ads where they're like, it gets better. Remember from back in the day? Now it's like, it gets dumber.
And that is pretty much everything that's happening to everywhere right now. Guess what, everybody? It's dumber than it used to be.
It gets worse.
It's not even worse. It's just less good. Dumber.
Less good.
Less smart. Okay, go.
So in December 2020, So in December 2021, Hyperverse hosts an online global launch event, and a man named Stephen Reese-Lewis was introduced as the chief executive officer. So this part is funny because it's not like he's some guy like in shadow, like with a muffled voice, like they would do when they're like people are trying to like speak up about something, like they're whistleblowers or they're like rape victims or something, and they want to hide their identity to avoid shame. It's like a dude. It's a straight up dude in a suit. It's a person. So he's. And this has not come out yet, but like, so he's clearly like an actor of some sort now in retrospect.
Has to be, yeah.
Yeah. So they hired some guy to be a fake CEO of this company.
This is amazing.
Right. And it gets crazier. So no one has come out and figured out who this person is, but presumably he's got a family. He's got like parents. He's got like maybe siblings. He's met somebody at some point. So I'm just waiting for there to be the Reddit thread to be like, hey, that's actually, Billy Bob.
So Billy Bob.
Billy Bob the Fifth.
The guy that runs the pizza place.
Yeah, he's a descendant of the pizza place guy. He's the cheese distributor that couldn't do it. And he went on to be CEO of Hyperverse. An
actor.
Yes. My great-grandfather was Billy Bob.
The cheese distributor. New Jersey.
He supported my love of acting, and now I'm fake CEO of this company.
They have my family hostage. Anyway.
Yeah. So presumably this person somewhere, I don't know if he's on the lam. I don't know if he like went to Switzerland and got like facial reconstructive surgery so that people could never actually find him or like what it is. But he's there. I don't know who it is. We're going to have more on that at some point in the next
I'm so excited.
Yeah, in the few weeks in the coming weeks, I'm sure we'll have more information about it.
I want to know everything about this guy.
I do too. I'm fascinated to know who he is. It reminds me of, I think, was it Iron Man 3 when they have the Mandarin show up and it's just Ben Kingsley who's like pretending to be the villain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen those
sort
movies.
Of like that. Yes. Yes.
They all
You've
kind
seen
of
all
blend
movies.
into one.
They do. Anyway, so after December 2021, where they have this online event, the following month they post a bunch of celebrity endorsement videos on Twitter. And this is where we realize these Twitter accounts, the like LinkedIn, all these different social media accounts did not exist for this guy prior to this.
Okay.
And basically they start putting up a bunch of celebrity endorsement videos, like I said. So they are from, the first person is Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, Chuck Norris.
That makes sense for some reason.
Comedian Jim Norton, and our boy band king, NSYNC's very own Lance Bass.
Lance Bass. Okay, I was going to say Lance.
Lance.
Wait, they're all like...
They all have made endorsement videos for this guy. Now, this is where it gets crazy. So there's no proof that any of these people had any idea what they were actually promoting, but Tellingly, by the services that were available on Cameo at the time, people have put two and two together and realized that they just commissioned them for a cameo because you could just pay them whatever, like $200. And, you know, on one hand, it'll be like, hey, you know, whoever, happy bar mitzvah, or it's like happy 40th birthday or something. You can also get it to be like, hey, my buddy started this new company called Hyperverse. We're really pumped about it. Can you just do this little video? And they'll just be like, yeah, sure, why not? As long as it's not like knowingly offensive or racist or anything terrible like that, they'll just record it.
What a loophole.
Yeah. So these guys hired all these four. So Steve Wozniak said, I'm here to support Steven in the Hyperverse, and I can't wait for the Hyperverse.
Amazing. Ooh.
Chuck Norris states that, quote, under the leadership of CEO Steven, Hyperverse will be the leader of metaverse space.
None of that makes sense. It's all word salad.
It's word salad for sure.
Yep.
My favorite is Jim Norton. Jim Norton described Hyperverse as a decentralized metaverse platform with infinite possibilities and encouraged people to sign up. I strongly believe Steven will lead Hyperverse to success. Let's all join the Hyperverse. What are you waiting for? Do it now.
Oh, no.
Do it now. What are you waiting for?
It sounds like a
Get to the
cult.
chopper. Get to the Hyperverse.
The Hyperverse sounds so stupid. It's like, make it better. Make it me want to go to it.
Anything that says verse in it, I'm just like, no thanks. Yeah. Metaverse, Hyperverse, all that crap.
Gone.
They were previously part of something called the Hyper Fund, and that's where the story begins for Reese Lewis. So I actually found the picture that was on part of their promotional materials.
Is it RHYS? Lewis?
It's Stephen, REECELEWIS.
I was going to say, that's a solid Welsh name right there.
Oh, look at that. He might be Welsh. He might not exist at all.
He doesn't exist.
Yeah. I'm going to show you the picture. So I'm going to read off of this little blurb that they made. So this is like from the PowerPoint presentation, talking about his bona fides, his bona fides. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And you can see a picture of him there as well. He's a handsome fella. He's wearing a nice blue suit.
It looks like they No. It looks like they photoshopped a mugshot onto a tiny person's body.
His head is rather big for the rest of his body. That's true.
That's not, no. That's not one person. That's like 3 people put into one person. That head does not belong on that body.
I don't know, man. It looks, there's video of this too, though. So
he has a big head?
Yeah, and the video is like, it's not AI, you can tell. It's not like a made-up person. It's like this guy exists. Meaning like this human being exists. Whether or not his name is actually Stephen Reese Lewis is up for debate.
Okay.
So Stephen Reese Lewis has spent over a decade in the IT and fintech industry focusing on business management, project consultation, and communications. He started his career as a derivatives trader with Goldman Sachs, then began his own web development company, which was later sold to Adobe. He is a proven business builder with extensive experience across emerging markets, new technologies, and digital assets. So, The Guardian reached out to Goldman Sachs and to Adobe. No such person ever existed. No such person ever worked at Goldman Sachs. No such company was ever acquired by Adobe.
You can just make anything up.
You can make anything up now, yeah. Let's see. And in 2016, he saw the disruptive potential of blockchain technology and predicted that the crypto market would be the key driving force in economic growth of the next decade. He secured nearly $10 billion from angel investors to launch an IT consulting startup advising on building blockchain-based solutions for the financial markets. His strong performance and drive caught the attention of Hypertech Group, which then acquired Stephen's IT blockchain consultancy company in October 2020 in order to bring Stephen and his team aboard in early 2021. Lies. But here's the best part. Stephen holds a BA in economics and mathematics from Leeds University, along with an MBA in finance from the University of Cambridge.
So I don't think Cambridge has a finance program.
Guess what? Apparently he went there, but they followed up. Nope, he didn't. No such person exists. Never went to college. This is like the worst LinkedIn profile, like on crack with like $50 billion put behind it.
Go on. Oh, wait, it says he's from now he lives in Dubai. It says.
Allegedly, right?
Well, yeah.
Who knows? Yeah.
A lot of people could live in Dubai.
A lot of people could live in Dubai. All made up.
Dubai? Or just the guy? Okay, go on, please. Sorry.
The hypertech group. I'll stop at this point in the conversation and say the funny part to me about this is like it's a crucially relatable story for those of us who are in the freelance and sort of creative industries, because this is the kind of stuff that we have to deal with all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Where we're literally a one-person business. So on the one hand, I'm like, I kind of relate to the idea of having to just be like, this is our CEO that exists, and like this is our creative director, and this is this and that.
Yeah.
Like it's such a strange expansion of that, and like taken to like an 11.
Right.
But
like I had a friend who was a graphic designer, and he had 3 email addresses, and one of them was like HR, and one was him, and then one was like vice president, and it was all him. But it gave him some legitimacy.
Yeah.
This is like that, but insane.
But these guys have just been doing Shu and Lee they've been doing this for like a bunch of different times. And because crypto is like this insane non-regulated thing. It's like this, the whole point is that they're like, oh, it's decentralized. It's not really regulated by any government, which is the selling point for a lot of people, because they think that like, once the government gets involved in it, it's going to be ruined, and, the potential for making more money is off the table. But it's also on the flip side, you can not do that if you are regulated. Even that's debatable, but
you can do anything if you have money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go back to our friend Peter. Remember Peter?
Oh my gosh, that's right, Peter.
Yeah, Peter with his golf pants. He's hyped, dude. He hears the news about Reese Lewis, and he's just like, hell yes. My boy Reese Lewis. He's going to take this to the moon.
What did they used to say? Hodl? High. Oh shoot! They had a little phrase.
Oh, buy high, sell low. To the moon is all I remember. Is like, we're gonna take it to the moon.
Hang on, I gotta look it up because it's driving me insane. Yeah, hodl. Hold on for dear life.
Hodl. I don't know this. I've never heard of it.
It's hold on for your dear life.
Oh.
We're going to the moon. Like we're getting straight to the moon.
I just remember diamond hands, which is like when you have to hold on to it forever and not let it go.
All of this is made up.
Yep. Money is made up too. Money's not a real thing.
Yeah, nothing's real. 2024 is just, no.
All made up. Anyway, so Peter is hype. Hodl is what you said. Hodor. Whatever. Hodor.
Just a giant man.
Hodl. He's in front of.
They killed Hodl.
The blockchain.
I can't believe they killed Hodl.
They killed Hodl. Bastards.
Benioff.
Okay. Right. Peter loves it. 7 figures on paper. He just starts making his investment grows to 7 figures on paper. He's balling. He's just like, I'm going to buy a yacht. I'm going to buy, I don't know, avocado toast, whatever, something is expensive. He's hyped. He's stoked. Right. New Argyle sweater. I'm going to buy a second golf course for the other golf course in my backyard.
Buy a caddy.
I'm going to buy a caddy. A Cadillac.
A boy.
Oh boy, I'm going to purchase this young man.
Okay.
And as soon as he's like, all right, let's do it. But when he starts to try and withdraw money, he gets a message, and it says that the transaction is pending.
Okay.
This was then followed by error messages, such as there being a glitch in the server or technical issues. And, our friend Peter's like, Rome wasn't built in a day. All right. Just stay calm. Hodl. Hodl-lehi-hoo.
Hold on for dear
life, right?
Life. Yeah. I was trying to think of a different name.
Hodl. He's like, Hodl, it's all good. You don't know. Don't panic. This is what the government wants you to think. But these are just independent free thinkers who are trying to make us a bunch of bucks. So he's chilling. He's getting a little bit nervous, but he's not freaking out yet. Then in August 2022, the Hungarian Central Bank releases a statement warning customers to exercise due diligence before investing in the Hyperverse, which used to be called the Hyperfund Fund, comparing the system underpinning them to a suspected pyramid scheme behind which there's no real economic activity. The only income of the system is payments of new entrants. Now,
naturally.
Slowly, people start to wise up, and they're like, this might be a disaster. We don't really know what's happening. Where's our money? Which, of course, they come up with another idea. So they start another platform.
No.
Yep. And they jump to another platform, and this time they call it Hyper Nation. And they launch on YouTube, which I'm going to send you the picture right now. We'll put this on the screen.
Oh my gosh.
Be careful.
Okay.
So this is the guy, his name. Okay. So before you see it. So they launch on YouTube. This is the guy that comes out to announce it. He's like an evangelist. He's like the brand, person for Hyper Nation. His name is Mr. H. And he literally looks like, yeah, exactly. He looks like, no, I'm the one who looks like your father.
You do look like my dad.
Yeah. Handsome man.
What do you want me to say to that?
Yeah, he's a handsome guy. Mr. H looks like what 3PO from Star Wars would be wearing if he went to an Eyes Wide Shut robot orgy. Are you ready?
Oh, yes. Send it. No. Can I? This is so stupid. Well, why does he have great, like, okay, so he can see.
I don't know.
His mouth looks like it's always like, it's just like.
It doesn't move.
No.
No, so they're borrowing from the iconography of Anonymous, right? So it's like it's supposed to be like a weird gold digital version of the Guy Fawkes mask, I think, because they're also wearing the hoodie and he's wearing the black gloves and the black jacket.
This is the dumbest mask I've ever seen. I mean, I would
Halloween
buy one.
costume. Yeah, perfect Halloween costume.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Go look this up.
Yes. There was also a lady. Let me send you the other picture. So this is all part of the Hyper Nation launch. There was a lady whose name was Miss N. So there's Mr. H and Miss N. And they sort of do, they're trying to do like this. How do you describe what she's wearing to the listeners?
It looks like she's wearing a skirt on her face.
But also wearing like the Zorro mask with like a but it's like
masquerade.
A frilly. It's a masquerade, but it's like a frilly skirt. It's like a doily skirt that hangs from the Zorro mask on the front. With a feather.
It looks like someone was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a period part, like a party, not a period party, like a period era, like dress like you're in the 1890s." And then she just doesn't know how to do that and comes showing up and like she found things in a costume store. She looks like so stupid.
It looks
I'm getting
insane.
really angry at this. I hate this so much. I hate everything about this. The way she's holding her hands, like, "Oh, I'm a tech person," but wearing the dumbest outfit I've ever seen. I'm so annoyed. Okay. I'm so annoyed with this.
That's going to be our Halloween costume. I'll be Mr. H and you're going to be Miss N.
Okay. Super
or cosplay at the next convention we go to.
Everyone's going to be like, "Are you from an anime?"
What is
we'll
this?
say, "No, worse. We're from real life."
Anyway, so they put out this video, and of course, everyone's like, "Dude, what the hell is going on?" And so the investigations start to get crazy. Now, notably, Reese Lewis was absent from the video. Our boy. Reese wasn't in the video, and now all of a sudden, people are like, "What the hell is going on? What is this weird, like, C-3PO Eyes Wide Shut orgy mask? There's no CEO. Why is this woman wearing a skirt on her face? What the hell is this?" So nobody freaks out more than our friend Peter. Golfer Peter, right? Of course. Peter suddenly puts the pieces together and he's like, "Holy crap, I'm screwed. All my money is just like
I've made a huge mistake.
I've made a huge mistake." So what does he do? Now, you and I, if we were found in this position, we would feel shame. We would feel embarrassment, but we would probably have to go to at least talk to a lawyer of some sort, right? We'd be like maybe a lawyer or somebody who's a financial advisor that we know. We try and get to the bottom of it. But our friend Peter, no, that's not what he does. He thinks different. That's why he invested in this in the first place, because he's a think different person. He thinks outside the box. So what does he
funny
do?
When somebody says they think outside the box, everyone always assumes it's smarter.
Yeah.
But
Which
sometimes
box?
it's not.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's not smarter.
No. In the case of Peter, what does he do? He goes and he runs several seminars to help recruit others into the scheme.
Dig the hole deeper.
Digs it deeper. Quote, I recruited 18 people and I have lost 16 friends who don't talk to me anymore, which I'm like, who are the two people that are still talking to him?
He said that?
He said that. In total.
I'm speechless.
I know, right? In total, Peter lost $100,000.
That's okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a good amount of money.
Not that bad for him.
For him, I guess. He threw in $100,000. Listen, the moral of the story with Peter is don't trust your golfing friends. Don't even golf.
Don't golf. It's a waste of water.
It's a waste of land.
It's a huge waste of land.
Mini golfing is cool, but don't do like real golfing.
Clown golfing is that?
Yeah, clown golfing is the best. Anyway, so you might think, what the hell's going on, right? So technically, Hyperverse is claiming that because it was a membership-based product, remember, they're not investing directly, they're buying a membership for them to do some sort of return on investment. Because it was a membership-based product, it did not qualify as an investment product requiring financial regulator oversight. Of course, this is not the view of financial authorities in Australia, where Hyperverse has been most active. So a report from the US-based blockchain analysis, Chain Analysis, I guess is what it's called, estimates consumer losses to Hyperverse in 2022 amounted to be $1.3 billion. And the two dudes who started it relocated to Dubai in 2021, presumably to hang out with Lewis. And the whereabouts of Shu are unknown.
Oh, he's gone?
No one knows where he is.
He just went missing.
Yeah.
He's in the
blockchain, probably.
It's like Tron. He goes into the game. What?
Yep.
Okay, so this is so stupid. So like okay, keep going.
No, that's it. So no one knows where it is. So no, that's it. There's no satisfying ending to this. They basically took the money and run. They lost $1.3 billion. Our friend,
that's so much money.
Reese Lewis may or may not even exist as a person. He might have had like facial transplant surgery. We don't know. I want to know who this guy is. I want to know who the actor was that got hired for this role. I want to know what they promised him.
He was from Central Casting. They just picked him out. Like, this guy kind of looks like he could be a clean cut white guy who wears a suit.
It's interesting. Interesting, right? It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my tab. Yeah, that's my tab. I'm sticking to it.
That is so funny and so dumb.
Poor Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris got roped into this. Lance Bass.
They're fine.
Steve Wozniak? Steve Wozniak was a sweet man.
That's the one I'm weirded out about. It's like, Steve, like, get a better agent or like get a better person that tells you what to do.
If Steve Jobs were still alive, this never would have happened because he would have yelled at Wozniak and be like, what are you doing? Go ahead.
Pretty funny because mine is also about an imposter.
Oh, really?
And pretty much a fake person.
How the hell does this keep happening?
I don't know.
We did not coordinate this.
No. So
we have such good ESPN that we're like mind melted.
It's like Mean Girls where she's like, it's going to rain today.
That's literally what just that. Yes, exactly.
ESPN. Okay. ESP. So I have had this tab open. Again, I dug deep. So I'm really into Wikipedia, which is why these are all Wikipedia tabs. But this is about somebody named Princess Caraboo.
Princess Caraboo.
Yes. Princess Caraboo. So again, I'm going back to 19th century England. But no like rotting jaws or anything. It's more just about a big liar. So
I'm laughing because this was my last podcast, Musical Splaining, was just like every musical took place in 1800s England, which was like a running gag that I had with my previous host, Angie. So I'm just laughing that I'm like, it continues.
Wow.
I can't escape 19th century England, apparently.
No,
anyway, I'm sorry.
Because for some reason, everyone loves reading about it, me included.
Train wreck. That's why so many train wrecks
are set in 18th century England.
Oh, yeah. So many of them.
Dude, I went to a musical in Regent Park in London.
Why?
I know. I went and we watched, what's the one? Pirates of Penzance.
Oh, they're going to say Pirates of the Caribbean, which I didn't know was a musical, but I never saw Pirates of Penzance.
It's not, I
Are they
can't predict
pirates?
if you'd
Are they
like
like,
it.
yar, yar, yar,
Yes.
we're pirates?
Pretty much.
That's kind of
But
fun.
I zoned out. I don't even know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. I was like paying attention to like bird sounds. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
outside.
I understand.
And there was a lot of dancing and petticoats, and I was like, ugh. And I was into theater at the time, so I should have been paying attention. Anyway, sorry to make this about musicals. But
No,
you were
I
the one who
interrupted. I'm
started.
sorry. I just thought it was funny that I'm back in 18th century, or
that.
sorry, 19th century
Hop
England
in.
again.
Hop into the whatever they drove, carriages. Okay, 1817. We're in the village of Almondsbury, England, and it's in
Almondsbury.
it's in the county of Gloucester. So,
Okay.
a cobbler and his wife found this woman just wandering around, and she was wearing what they called foreign and exotic clothes.
Oh, interesting.
She seemed out of it, disoriented, confused, like kind of, and she kept speaking in a foreign language that everyone's like, that doesn't sound real, because it wasn't. Spoiler alert. She spoke in this language, and they're like, "Oh, well, let's take her to a place called the Overseer of the Poor,
The Overseer of the Poor,
which is the most 19th century English job I've ever heard."
Yeah, what is that?
So it's these people who are elected reluctantly to be in charge of poor relief, which is like making sure poor people aren't mostly misbehaving. It wasn't really about feeding them or taking care of them.
Oh,
it was about keeping
this is
them in
not like a
place.
welfare, social welfare thing.
No.
This is literally just to lecture poor people of being like,
Yes.
have you tried not being poor?
Have you tried not being crazy?
Yeah.
The guy in charge of the poor people in the county of Gloucester, where Almondsbury is a dude named Samuel Worrell.
Sam Worrell.
Sam Worrell.
Sam Worrell. I'm sorry, I'm just repeating everything.
Are you saying rural or Worrell?
the rural Gerald Sam Worrell.
The Raja.
Raja. Sam Worrell. I'm just going to say Sam Worrell like that every time.
Okay, Sam Worrell. Anyway,
Sam Worrell.
He had been elected the previous Easter. Every Easter, they elect the overseer of the poor, maybe because it makes them feel more Christ-like or whatever. But
okay, yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
But it was mostly just there to keep social structure and social hierarchy under the guise of taking care of people. So this guy, Samuel Worrell, and his wife, who's American, which is kind of weird for the time, because usually, no, I'm not even going to go into that. That's a whole different tab. And neither, no, it's...
Just real quick, though, is it that the English didn't marry Americans at that point?
It's that rural English people didn't really marry outside of their county or outside of their area.
I see. They're very provincial in that way.
Not until later. Like a lot of times, like they would marry American heiresses or heirs to bring money back into the estates. But that was like really rich people. Like think to Downton Abbey. That's what the guy in Downton Abbey did. He married
I
American.
have not watched Downtown Arby's.
You don't have to, Downtown Arby's?
That's what Sarah and I always call it.
Don't eat at Downtown Arby's.
Downtown Arby's is not great.
Okay, so she was American, and she was like, even I can't understand this lady. And the only thing they could figure out was that her name was Caraboo. Caraboo.
Caraboo.
Boo. So here's where it gets like definitely predictably more racist. Everyone's everyone's like, she must be Asian because she keeps saying nanas when pointing to a pineapple, which is, let me point out, English is the only language that has a word pineapple. Every other language has something on the form of nana or
ananas is in Farsi.
Ananas,
that's what you would say. Yeah. I was like, I'd be like, hey, I understand.
Yeah. Like, oh, pineapple. But they're like, she's not calling it a pineapple. She's calling it what Indonesian people call pineapples. They just picked a South Asian. Like,
you mean there's languages other than English? What the hell?
And the other reason they thought she was maybe Indonesian or Chinese is because she only sleeps on the floor.
What the hell?
Look, I don't. So Sam Worrell.
Worrell.
He's like, well, I know what poor people look like, and this is a poor person. I need this beggar to be arrested and taken to like the jail in Bristol, which is like.
Oh.
Anyway, so they arrest her, and she's the whole time she's just like talking in this other language, and like, everyone's like, "Whoa, who is this?" And while she's in jail, a Portuguese sailor was there for some reason, and he was like, "Oh, I understand her," and his name was Manuel, and he was like, "No, she's saying that she's a princess from an island called Havasu." or Javasu in the Indian Ocean, and that she jumped overboard in a pirate boat. She was kidnapped by pirates, and then she jumped overboard in the Bristol Channel, hence washing up. Yeah. So this guy's like, oh yeah, I get it. She told me everything, and then we never hear about him again.
Wait, was she speaking Portuguese this whole time?
No.
Or did that guy just make it up?
I think he made all of that up. I mean, come on, you're in jail, you're bored. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna help this lady have a story.
I mean, that's 100% something that you and I would have done if we were arrested, because that's the way our brains work. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, actually, this lady, she's
you don't even know.
She's an outlaw, and she jumped off of. Anyway,
he just yes-anded the hell out of that situation.
No, or I think maybe she let him in on the secret. And
okay.
He maybe helped her, get out of jail that way.
Okay.
So, I mean, we never hear about him again, so who knows? Manuel, thinking about you.
Wherever you are.
I
hope you're doing well.
Whatever grave you're in. So after hearing that, the Worrells were like, $signs, Sam and his wife.
Yeah.
We're like, ooh, we're going to get her out of jail, and we're going to bring her back,
money.
and she's going to live with us.
What?
She lived with them.
Do you want to kidnap the princess?
No, they just got her out of jail.
Didn't they want to? Okay, where's the money sign here though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because they want to get people to come see her.
Oh, I see. They're going to exploit her.
That was the thing. If someone was different, that was like money.
For interesting.
Normies. They were just like, this person has three nipples. Bring them in.
Right. It's like a circus freak showy kind of thing.
Come and look at the third nipple. Don't know why that was the thing that came to my head, but
hey, man, what's whatever was in your heart.
My heart is a third nipple.
It is my third nipple.
It's my third nipple. Anyway, so they're like, yeah, let's let her live with us. And for the next few months, people would come by and just look at this exotic princess, and because she could use a bow and arrow really well.
Interesting.
And she could fence, and she would swim naked.
So she's clearly she's upper crust if she's doing like fencing, right?
Well,
fencing is not like a poor people's sport.
No, or
you got to be kind of rich to do fencing, I think.
Right?
I think so. I mean, at least I imagine that people who fence are like, I don't know anybody who's ever. Actually, that's not true. I have known people who have fenced, but they're not poor people usually. Yeah.
No, they're like very wealthy.
Yeah.
Well, she could fence, and she would swim naked in the rivers and stuff, and all the English people had to be like, oh, I don't like that, but really they were like, yeah.
That's really what they were. That's what Sam Worrell was charging for.
She also prayed to Allah, but she pronounced it Alawala.
Alawala? Alawala bang bang?
It was like some bastardization of an actual prayer.
Okay.
And so they were like, oh, she's from the Middle East or wherever, Indonesia. They just kept pulling out names like, oh, maybe she's this. She's just exotic.
Well, Indonesia is in the Middle East, as we all famously know. This is a correct fact. Where was the other place they said that they thought she was from? China, yeah.
Middle East, Indonesia.
China, Indonesia, Middle East. It's all one place together.
One big place, yeah.
It's outside of England.
Everything that's not England is all one place.
Everything outside of England also continues to be England if the English had it their way.
Everything outside of England is future England. She kept wearing exotic clothing. And then this doctor came around, and his name was Dr. Wilkinson. And I don't know what kind of doctor he was, but he looked at her and he's like, yep, she's Asian. Because apparently
that was his diagnosis.
Pretty well. He looked at the back of her head and found a bunch of surgical scars that were like really rough. And he's like, only a quote unquote, I can't even say the word. Never mind. Only an Asian person, only an Asian doctor would do this.
Dear Lord.
And he used this thing. He's like, and I figured out her language too. It is Indonesian. I figured it out by using this thing called a pantographia, which is like an encyclopedia of known alphabets, which we haven't heard of it because it probably didn't even work.
This guy was also made up too.
Wilkinson, he's like, I'm going to go start a tech company.
Yeah. Was his name Reese Lewis? That was the name of the doctor.
Gosh, yeah. Turns out Wilkinson was wrong, and so was the pantographia. And after her portrait circulated in the papers, there was a woman who ran a boarding house who looked at the paper and went, that looks a lot like Mary.
Oh.
And she's like, something's not sitting right. That looks like Mary. And so she tells the Worrells, hey,
Okay.
that's not who you think it is. It's this lady named Mary who used to live here. And after that, it all fell apart.
Oh, no.
It turns out Princess Caraboo was a servant girl named Mary Wilcox.
Okay.
She was born in Devon to a cobbler, Devonshire, which is a little bit, it's like
How far is it from where they found her?
southwest of Bristol. So not too far. Like she could have easily made the trip.
Give me a Bay Area reference point.
Oh, I want to say like 2 hours, like from San Jose to Sacramento.
Okay. All right. So she's from she's like originally from Sacramento, now living in San Jose.
Because every over there, they're like when I was living over there, they're like, you're driving to Scotland? Why? And I'm like, it's only 5 hours. And they thought I was insane. So
that's like we're in the same state.
Don't know. Actually, I think it's probably only like, people are going to be like, you idiot. How do you not know how to get from Bristol to Devonshire?
Listen, we'll open another tab about this in a future episode and figure out exactly the distance. I apologize.
I'm sure I'm wrong, but it wasn't like a big, long. Anyway, she hadn't been able to find another place to stay because she'd been hopping from boarding house to boarding house, which was very common in the day because people would usually leave their families if there wasn't much there to do, and they would go get jobs in bigger houses.
Okay.
And because I love censuses. I don't know if you knew that. I love Sensei.
That's my
Sensies.
go-to is to add I at the end of everything.
Sensies, like testes.
Sensies.
But a lot of sensies had boarding houses that were pages of people's names because I would find family members, they were at a boarding house. They must have just been stopping by for like a month or two. And it was very common to do that. And so she couldn't find anywhere to live. So she was like, I know what I'll do. I am going to pretend to be an Indonesian princess. So she invented her own language based on Romani and her imagination. So she made all of it up except for she threw some Romani words in there.
Interesting.
And she also created this elaborate backstory about being a princess. And the harsh-looking scars on her head turned out to be done by an English doctor.
Spoiler.
Who performed a botched cupping operation.
What the hell is that?
It's like putting cups on people's like bodies. Athletes do it. Have you ever seen those like athletes with big round like
shoulders?
I can't.
I only know cupping when they do like needling. Why am I drawing a blank? Acupuncture when they do cupping. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about something else.
Part of it. Cupping could be like I looked it up for a minute.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say I know anything about it. But it gave her scars that they blamed on primitive doctors.
But it's not like a brain surgery or something.
No.
It was like, okay.
It's like putting cups on.
Okay. No. But I just think like, but I was asking though, because you said that she had the scar on the back of her head. And for a second, I was thinking that like they took out part of her brain or something like that. But you're saying that's not the case. It was just like a sort of surface scar.
Pseudoscience. But yeah, it was an English doctor in a poorhouse hospital years before. So the press went insane. They were like,
what? English doctor bad, actually?
No, they were
Sam Worrell.
Sam Worrell. How did I know you would do something with the name Sam Worrell?
Because I'm an idiot.
Down and I'm like, he's going to do something with this name, and I don't know what.
You spend entirely too much time with me trapped behind a table. That's why.
We can leave whenever we want.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So the press went nuts. They're like, she's not real. And so it was like this huge thing. And everyone started making fun of middle-class people that were rural. They're like, these idiots fell for it.
Oh my God.
When literally anyone would have fallen for it. This is the same time when somebody like sewed together a fish and a monkey skeleton and called it a mermaid.
Right.
And everyone's
yeah, that's real.
Like, I think even like nobles were like, whoa.
It's getting out of control.
So the Worrells were like, oh, we're idiots. But Mrs. Worrell's American. So she's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send her to America and get her out of our hair. So she sends her to Philadelphia. And when she gets to Philly, Mary Wilcox is like, I'm not done with Princess Caraboo. I'm going to Broadway. I am going to do this until I can't. So She tries performing as Princess Caraboo in America, and nobody cares.
What?
She goes to New York, and everyone's like, whatever. And then she goes back. She goes back to England, tries to perform in London, where everyone's like, "You again? No, we know you." And then France and Spain, where again everyone was over.
How is she getting money to go all these places? Who's booking her? That's what I want to
don't know.
Does she have an agent?
I think she probably. You know what? I don't know.
She's like, she gets signed to CAA in the 1830s. They're like, we're gonna get you a Netflix deal. She's big on Twitter.
Get on TikTok.
She's just on TikTok.
Racist Princess Caraboo on TikTok. So finally, she gives it up because obviously no one cares. And she moved back to England, and she marries this guy named Richard Baker. And they have a kid named Mary.
Mary Baker.
After herself. They used to do that a lot. It was so dumb. Yeah. Marianne.
Well, dudes keep doing that, right? She's just Mary Baker the second. Mary Baker Jr.
Yeah. Ugh. I can't. That's too much. That's too many Marys. Like, anyway, so in the late 1830s, this is like 15 years, almost 20 years after she washed up
being
on shore.
Princess Caraboo.
Yeah. She was earning money by, you want to guess?
Baking.
Worse.
Eating.
Selling leeches.
That was my next guess, clearly. Selling leeches.
She would go outside hospitals and sell them leeches.
Leech for you, Governor.
Which is, by then, people kind of knew it didn't work. But
I was going to say, by that point, was it no longer like a thing?
They hadn't quite reached that, like, Charles Darwin era of, like, this is BS, you know? But they were still like, well, maybe. I'm saying as if I know.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to sling some leeches to feed your kid that's named after you.
She did this job for 30 years.
Whoa! I'll tell you one thing. This woman's dedicated to what she does.
She is. She never
committed to the gag, and then she committed to selling leeches. She's kind of like a...
She's probably brilliant. Like,
yeah.
A genius. Like, how do you convince people? I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's like a serious commitment to potentially just a gag, right? A bit.
Yeah.
That's how long in total was she Princess Caraboo? Because that's also a lot of places to go to.
She gave up around mid 1820s, so about less than 10 years.
But 10 years almost of just being a fake person.
She kept, and here's the thing: she didn't change her act. That was her problem. She needed to make it. Okay, so here's after selling leeches for 30 years, she
got a golden leech.
She's a factory. She invites children.
Yeah.
And then she dies after she falls.
Which is randomly. I think we're just laughing at her for falling.
Pretty normal for older people to fall, and it'd be really, really devastating.
Really terrible, yeah.
So she died in 1864, and her daughter took over the leech business.
Okay.
And she kept selling leeches outside of hospitals until 1900.
Whoa!
So for the next, but she lived alone. Marianne never married. She lived alone in a house full of cats. That's what the article said. It was she was like a cat hoarder.
Oh my God.
And then in 1900, she died in a fire.
Where? Like in the house with all the cats?
I think it was in the house.
Did one of the cats set it on fire?
One of the cats was like, I'm done with this.
I can't live with the leech lady anymore.
I can't look at one more leech.
How many leeches were you looking at?
No, well, she died in a house fire, and that is the end of that family line. But
dear Lord.
So that was, she kind of fooled a bunch of people. And I admire her dedication. Yeah,
the commitment to the bit is admirable. That's tough.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're a really good performer or an actor. Find a friend who's a good writer. Combine your forces. That's what you need. She couldn't write.
And start a podcast.
Yeah, start a podcast. Basically, she was the Daniel Day-Lewis of her time in terms of just being full on method, but she just didn't have a director like Paul Thomas Anderson to put her in the role of her life. It's a shame.
Also, everyone hated theater people back then.
As opposed to now where theater people are revered. Where everyone loves them. We do love you, theater people. Thank you.
No, really. I was one of you.
I was amongst one of you for many years.
What?
Or I was amongst all of you for years. Yes.
That's right.
Remember that other podcast I used to do? It's about musicals. It's the second time I brought it up in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Go listen to it.
Yeah.
New episodes next week.
Totally. Yeah, you barely even listen to your own episode, which is my favorite part.
I was on that the musical splaining podcast. I listened to half of my episode.
You're like, this Hannah Hillen person, not for me. Not really interested.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my story.
Mary Baker, right?
Mary Wilcox Baker.
Mary Wilcox Baker, the multi-generational leech slanger and performance artist, renowned around the world.
A leechmonger. Wouldn't that be more?
Leechmonger.
Yeah.
Leeching off.
Resume.
Yeah, right.
I was a leechmonger for 60 years.
60 years. Put that on her LinkedIn.
Yeah. Actually, it was 30. LinkedIn.
30 years.
Leached in.
Leached
That's a bad
in.
one. That's a bad one.
Linked out. Amazing.
Anyway.
That was great. That was quite the ride.
Yeah.
That had a lot of twists and turns.
What was yours?
What was the what did you say? It was a Portuguese sailor or pirate or something? What was that guy's name? Manuel? That guy.
Yeah.
I want to know where that guy went.
I'll see if I can find him.
See, she should have just paired up with him. That guy knew how to write.
He immediately got on that. He's like,
immediately.
Here we go.
They should just let him out of prison and just allowed them to like flourish.
Manuel and Mary. I almost called her Sarah because everyone was named Sarah or Mary. Still is.
Yeah, it's true. My wife is. Okay, so what does that mean now, Hannah? It's time for us to close a tab.
To close our tabs.
To close a tabs.
All right, you ready?
Let me pull it up. Okay.
Your turn.
You got yours?
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't.
You do not.
Where is mine? Where did it go? Oh, here it is.
Where did it go?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
It's gone.
Should be a bunch of leech noises this time.
Just sucking that blood right out of the tab. Sorry, the tab is the blood.
The tab is the blood? The tab's, I don't know. This metaphor is very strange.
It's not working. That felt good. Actually, that was the first time that felt good.
Really?
Yes.
That's the first one?
I was like, but wait.
I don't want you to leave. Come back.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, okay.
Now it's time for listener mail.
Listener emails. You should go first.
Oh.
I think you went first last time. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. We're all friends here.
I don't remember. Sure. So this is from Annie in Brooklyn.
Annie in Brooklyn.
She says, I recently came across an old photo of the original on-site hotel at John F. Kennedy Airport at work one day. Mm-hmm. I was curious because I like old hotels and looking at photos of them in their prime. Charm still intact. Lots are aware of the current hotel at JFK. I'm not.
I don't. I've never stayed there.
It's a beloved mid-century modern TWA hotel that was created by repurposing the original TWA flight center. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had never heard of its predecessor, the International Hotel.
Okay.
It opened in 1958, but early information is hard to come by. Instead, all you see is desolate, depressing photos of the building from the 2000s when it was branded as the Ramada Plaza, JFK.
It's just like two depressing things, like the Ramada Plaza and the president that got assassinated. Like, thanks. That's where I want to stay.
Yep. The name the name originated when in the 90s. Oh, sorry. I skipped a sentence.
It's okay.
Ramada Plaza. What I found most interesting, though, was its nickname, Heartbreak Hotel.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah. The name originated when in the 90s, it was used as temporary housing for family members of passengers and crew who were victims of airplane crash incidents.
Jesus Christ. That was not what I expected.
No. Many waited there for the remains of their family members to be returned.
This place sounds haunted.
to be recovered, identified, and released. Very grim. It closed in 2009. And as far as I know, is still abandoned and still stands. Annie.
Dear Lord. Thank you, Annie.
Where are we going to put all these crying people? Put them in that hotel.
Yeah. Can't put all these crying people in the middle of an airport. It's a bummer. put them into this. I bet you this place is haunted now. It sounds like it's filled with the spirits of. Ugh.
Could you imagine being in there?
Yes, I feel like that's a good
movie. You walk out of your room and everyone's crying. No one's happy.
That's a good movie. Yeah, it's a good horror film.
You know what would be a really no. A good movie would be if you wanted to be a comedy. Somebody books a hotel room and they show up to like have a vacation in New York and everyone's sad. That's it. That's the comedy.
That's the gag. When they get there, everyone's sad and they're like, wah, wah, roll credits.
And the guy has to just watch everybody, body bags after body bag. That's funny. I realize I don't know how to do comedy, so.
You're very good at comedy. That's not true.
Do you have one?
Yes. So you're going to love this one. Let's see. So Morgan from San Anselmo writes, Dear 500 Tabs, my husband told me about this episode of The Daily, and I'd had it sitting open to listen to for a few weeks now and finally listened to it the other day. The name of the episode, Hannah, is The Year of Taylor Swift. How the pop stars Eras Tour dominated 2023. You
want to get me canceled right now by all the Swifties? Here at the beginning of our podcast?
Listen.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Let's just keep going. So Morgan goes on to write, I've been a fan since the beginning, so the content wasn't new info to me, but it was a great, quick primer on Taylor Swift's songwriting style for those who just see her as another pop star. Even one of the hosts of the pod was on the verge of tears talking about how she related to the song My Tears Ricochet, even though her situation was obviously quite different from Taylor's. I'm glad to have closed the tab and checked off one of the many things I open and promise myself I'll come back to. Sincerely, Morgan. So you're a huge fan of Taylor Swift, is what I've gathered from this.
I also love the Ricochet song.
I don't know which song that is. Do you know what it is?
Oh, I don't either.
Oh, okay.
No. I can make a public statement on Taylor Swift right now. You were there tonight.
Lawyer? Yeah, should we get Giuliani in to help you with your public statement?
He could do it. He helped that pizza boy. Pizza boy? It was Al Capone.
I'm a pizza man, lady.
No, I think I'm so happy that people are happy because of her.
That's smart. It's a smart move. That's smart. Yeah.
Other people's happiness is good.
But you're somewhat isolated from it. I live in the den of a Swiftie.
Really?
I live with one. Yeah, I can't escape it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I hear it a lot.
Give in.
Listen, all I have to say is that my powers of disassociation have only grown stronger over the years.
You've become inhuman. You can leave not just really your body, but your house and the city, and you can be up there looking down at a world that you can just say, there's no Taylor Swift there.
It's not here. No. It's funny. It reminded me, I was going to tell you the story real quick, because it's cracked me up. Because it reminded me of I have a history of this where when everybody is really into a thing, I get stubborn and I dig my heels in and I'm absolutely not. And it's illogical. It has nothing to do with the merits of what the thing is. It's just my aversion.
On a lot of things.
Yes.
Yes. That's my entire life. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Lady Gaga? No. And then I listen to her. I'm like, she's really good.
Lady Gaga was amazing. Yeah. We missed that.
Yeah.
So
boy bands.
I remember in college, I went to school. I'm trying to remember. So Kill Bill comes out in 2003, I think, or 4. I forget the exact year. Somewhere around there. I'm in college at the time. I'm in art school. And of course, everybody in art school is like, this is the greatest piece of cinema that has ever existed. They have just talking about it constantly, nonstop. Every conversation is about Kill Bill. And me being who I am is like, absolutely not. I'm never going to watch that movie. And people are like, what is wrong with you? We're trying to share this thing that's great and get you really excited about it. And I'm just like, no, digging my heels in deeper. I did this for years, by the way.
You are preaching to I am the exact same way.
Yeah. It's really dumb. We shouldn't be like this. Yes. We just make all of our friends upset.
Please just listen to this. Please just watch this. And I'm like, no.
I can't. There's something takes over my brain and it's like, I cannot enjoy this because other people are too excited about it. They need to be less excited.
I'm not saying other people are wrong. I'm saying I'm broken.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the point of this, is to say that I'm an idiot in this scenario. But there's this story has a happy ending, which is, I think 4 years later or something, I'm at Thanksgiving and I'm with my my brother-in-law, and it was somehow the topic of Kill Bill came up. And he was like, oh, you never saw this movie? It's awesome. We should watch it. And I was like, I don't even care anymore. I've forgotten that I didn't watch this movie and that I didn't care about it. So I put it on and it was really fun. I really liked Kill Bill.
It.
I really enjoyed it. I was like, that was a great movie. People were right to be excited about it, but I'm still not wrong and I'll never change my ways. So this behavior persists with Taylor Swift, who may be very well the songwriter of her generation, but I am, as you said, broken and cannot let go.
Yep. The more people are happy about her, the angrier
the more I get upset. Why are we like this?
I don't know. We're broken.
We are.
No, you know what it is? It's self-destructive behavior.
Yes.
Just kidding. I just think I'm broken.
Yeah.
No, but like whenever I hear a song of hers, I'm like, okay, all right.
I can't allow myself
go for
to
it, everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, no, how do you not hear her songs? You go places,
No.
right?
I'm saying I can't like allow myself to enjoy it is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think there's a block, and I'm sure maybe someday one song will get to me.
We're going to go, oh God, now we're going to get like a million tabs from Taylor Swift fans being like, you need to watch it. We're going to have to do a Taylor Swift tab at some point now. Got to get those ratings up, Hannah.
I quit the podcast. Digging my grave right now.
Yeah. It's really going to get worse.
I talk about digging and graves a lot. I realize.
And showing up to New York and the punchline being that everyone's sad and dead.
Sorry.
Anyway, that's why we love you. No, don't apologize for being who you are. We love you.
Oh, I'm just so used to having to do that, you know?
Apologize for having a morbid sense of humor. No, you shouldn't. That's why we created this podcast, is so you can be able to do that. We would love to hear about tabs that you've closed. If you want to be able to be on this segment, please go ahead and email us. Our email is 500opentabs@gmail.com. And of course, as Hannah likes to remind me every episode, that's 500 as in 500.
You don't get people, you know.
It's true. I just always assume it's a number because people are like, they don't want to take the time to write out FIVE.
That's just you.
That's true. That is me. But 500opentabs@gmail, all one. Tell us about a tab that you've closed recently because we are so inspirational to you and your life is better from listening to this podcast. And don't forget to include the link.
Or you just open a bunch of tabs that we talk about and your life is worse.
Yeah, it's just to keep digging ourselves into a deeper and deeper grave. There you go. I can do it too.
Fine.
I can also talk about digging a grave.
Make a death joke.
Anyway, but yes, I'm sorry. Just to recap. Quick explanation, link to it, and 500opentabs@gmail. So I believe that takes us to the end of the episode. Please, as we say at the end of every episode, please subscribe.
Yeah.
Please rate the podcast. Please follow the sponsor links. We are at that early stage of this show in which we're still trying to get our footing. We're trying to get people to know about it. We're trying to get people to be interested and listen to it so that we can hopefully keep doing the show. Yeah. So it's crucially important that you do this.
I'm going to quit.
That's true. You're going to quit. I'm going to sit here and talk about Taylor Swift with my wife for the next 500 episodes and probably be the most successful podcast of all time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But we are across social media. We are at 500 Open Tabs on Twitter. We're at 500 Open Tabs on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah. And if you like art, we're both artists. And we have our own art.
We forgot to mention this last episode. I just realized. Yeah.
I'm a cartoonist, and it's just my name, at Hannah Hillam, on everything.
On everything. That's one app.
It's the newest app.
It's the newest app. I'm on Instagram at PermaFriends, and I'm at Covetarian on Twitter. Announcement, we are both going to be at Emerald City Comic Con at the end of February up in Seattle. So if you're planning to come to Emerald City, come find us. We're going to be sitting at the same table, probably recording a podcast and not selling anything.
Condependent? Wait, what is it?
Condependent. Because we are condependent. Sam Worrell.
Conjoined.
Conjoined.
Sam, Sam Worrell. He tried his best.
Sam Worrell.
Sam Worrell. No, but we don't have the booth number yet, but we'll announce it when we do.
Yes, and there'll be a couple more episodes before it actually comes out, but we got to start plugging it now so that people know. But yes, come see us at Emerald City Comic Con. It's like I've done it before.
Not. Oh my gosh, what? I'm the worst at this. I'm like, it's tomorrow? I better tell everyone.
Yeah, listen, I just promoted you to co-host today, so it's time you step it up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam Burrell. Please. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. I can't do that voice anymore. I need
You're
to
not
stop.
going to stop.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it.
We can't end this. How are we going to end this?
We're just going to say that thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping us close our tabs. Thank you for being part of our fantabulous community.
Yeah.
I know I'm just going to be
super. What did you say the other day? Supercalifragilistic.
Tabulistic expialidocious.
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous. Yes. Please join us next time where we'll have more tabs and more stories and more fun stuff. It's never ending. Never ends.
Okay. And more jokes about death.
More jokes about digging your grave. Okay.
Bye.
I do too.